Yeah, we were studying this. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we have completed this, I guess. So we were having some network issues. So this was the biasing. The biasing is very important as far as PN junction is diode. So if both the junctions are forward biased, free electrons enter the emitter and collector of the transistor, joins at the base and come out of the base. If we have both the PN junction diode in forward bias, then what happens? Both the currents are going to flow. So are forward biased, then free electrons enter the emitter and collector of the transistor, joins at the base and come out of the base. So it will come out of the base like this. So electrons will move like this, and there will be no effect of this. So if both the junctions are reverse biased, then small currents flow through both the junctions only due to thermally produced minority carriers and surface leakage. अगर हमने फॉरवर्ड बायस में लगाया तो करंट फ्लो हो जाएगा, रिवर्स बायस में लगाया तो लीकेज करंट फ्लो होगा, जो हमने बताया था माइनॉरिटी चार्ज कैरियर्स की वजह से होता है. इसलिए हम लोगों को क्या करना पड़ेगा, एक नया तरीका अपनाना पड़ेगा. सो बायसिंग विल बी लाइक when the emitter junction is forward bias and collector junction is reverse bias, then one extract large emitter current and small collector current, but collector current is almost as large as emitter current. So remember this. I have told you that for connection or for biasing, base emitter junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should always be reverse bias. So depending on the structure of this, we have to connect. So emitter base junction should always be forward bias to get a better effect. Okay, so this is the transistor currents that we are having. So we are having these three terminals: base, collector, emitter. This is for NPN transistor, and this is for PNP transistor: base, collector, and emitter. Now just see the currents. So for currents, we have used a uh, simple nomenclature over there. So if it is a base current, we are putting I with the suffix of B. If we use collector current, then I with suffix C. Sorry, if it is emitter current, then it is I suffix capital E. So this is the basic nomenclature of the currents that we are supposed to have in a transistor: base current, collector current, and emitter current. Okay. Similarly, for NPN transistor, PNP transistor, we are having the base current getting inside, collector current moving inside, and emitter current coming outside of it. So we are having two different structures, but the net equation remains the same. So the total current flowing into the transistor must be equal to the total current leaving the junction, as stated in the Kirchhoff's current law. So that is simply IE equal to IC plus IB or IB plus IC. For both the NPN and PNP transistor, it will remain the same. Okay, so this was that. Then we are having a transistor application. These are some of the applications of transistor: switching, transistor as a switch, amplification, variable resistor, impedance matching, and voltage regulation. So these are some of the applications which we will study in the coming classes, right? Switch transistor as a switch. Yesterday I have told you. Even I have uploaded one of my video in which I have briefly explained what is how you can use a transistor as a switch. You can go through my YouTube channel and that YouTube. So we have amplification, variable resistance, impedance matching, voltage regulation. Then yeah, basic circuits of BJT we are having. So we have studied this. This is the common emitter configuration. Here, the base emitter junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be reverse bias. And for that, what we have done, we have given positive terminal. Actually, this is NPN transistor. NPN, so for P to P positive and negative to emitter. Similarly, here also collector should be kept positive because it is again NPN. So N should be positive so that it is reverse bias. So high voltage is applied across this. So this is the most extensively used configuration, that is common emitter configuration. Operations of BJT. Yeah, this is more important. So BJT will operate in one of the following four regions, that is cutoff region, then we are having saturation region, and linear active region to be an amplifier, and the breakdown region always be a disaster. So we are going to use only in the linear, that is active region of an amplifier. Now, how we are going to decide it? So we are having these two phases, which is called as cutoff region. The other one is called as saturation region, and the linear region. Let us see this. So if I have a glass of glass and I fill a water in this, so up to what level you are expecting it to fill? So if you fill completely, so at this point we'll say that it is at the saturation region, right? And when I say I need a cutoff region, so how much the smallest level of water that can be retained over here. So we are having a water over here. We are having a water, very small water over here. You are able to see this. So if I drink this, still there is a little bit of water which is left over here and which is required. So that particular level of water is called as the cutoff region. So we can't operate in both the regions. We can't operate in cutoff region. We can't drink that water. That should be remain over there. And after saturation means if you fill this glass totally, so after that also we are not able to fill the glass. So we are having a limitation. So we have to work in this particular region itself. That is called as the active region. So this active region where the transistor is supposed to work. So we'll study that also, and that is being studied in the uh, say the output characteristics. So we are having this common emitter amplifier, and if you are able to see, we have studied this the VCE on x-axis and the IC on y-axis. And as you go on increasing the base current, you'll able to find that the collector current also increases, right? And then it becomes constant. So we are having this. So this particular region, which is below this blue line, if you see this, so this particular region is called as cutoff region, whereas this region is called as the saturation region. We'll again see in this another slide. So for DC analysis of BJT, we have this transistor currents, IE equal to IC plus IB. Then we are having alpha, that is the current amplification factor in common base configuration. So alpha is equal to IC by IE. So IC can be written as alpha into IE. Similarly, we have beta, that is base current amplification factor in common emitter configuration. So alpha beta is equal to IC by IB. So IC can be written as beta IB. Okay. So these are the DC analysis of BJT, DC currents, and the beta typically has a value between 20 to 20 to 200. I have written here in comparison, it is around 20 to 500. So that is actually the current base current amplification factor in common emitter amplifier. Then yeah, so this is the DC analysis of a BJT. DC voltages for a biased transistor. So the collector voltage is given by this equation. VC equal to VCC minus ICRC. We have written this equation in the last class, and how we have derived that we will see here. So we have, I guess, okay, we are not having the diagram. I will show you. So this is the VC equal to VCC minus ICRC. Just remember this, and the base voltage, that is VB equal to VE plus VBE. So we are having these two voltages, the base voltage. Now for silicon transistor to be in conduction region, VBE should be equal to zero point 0.7 volt. That base emitter junction should get zero point 0.7, minimum zero point 0.7 volts to be in forward bias. Then only the transistor will be on and the transistor will conduct. Okay, so VB should be equal to zero point 0.7 for this is for germanium, and zero point 0.3 for sorry, this is for silicon, and for germanium it should be zero point 0.3. So as I told you, if the diode is made up of germanium, then the depletion layer or the breakdown voltage, or say the forward bias voltage that is required is zero point 0.3 volt, and for silicon it should be zero point 0.7 volt. So that is shown over here in DC analysis. Then the Q point. Yes, this Q point is very, very important. Yesterday I tried to draw the DC load line, and by that we will study how this Q point is very important, and how, when the transistor starts working in that particular region. So the base current IB is established by the base bias. The point at which the base current curve intersects the DC load line is the quiescent point. For Q point of the circuit, so if you see this, yeah. So I have drawn this Q point yesterday, and this point at the center of the line is called as the Q point, at which we'll have IC at the middle and VC at the middle. So at this region, the transistor is supposed to be work in active mode, right? We'll study some more graphs over there, so you'll come to know. If you see this graph, and this is the Q point, and these are the characteristics that we are having. So this is the input that is being applied to over there, and this is the output that we are expecting. So this is how the transistor works. So to work it in the active region, we require the transistor, we require this Q point. Okay, and this is one more. And if you don't work in this Q point, then what happens? So it goes in saturation. So the output, that is the output current over here, will go in saturation. So this is the input, and this is the saturation that we are having. This is saturation and this is cutoff. So we have to work in this active region, and for that we need to have this Q point at the center. Then only it will work actively. So this is the input that we are expecting to give. That is the base current, and this is the collector current that we are expecting to have. So if you are able to see that the whole AC signal is being amplified over here as we are working in the active region. Similarly, the voltage over here in this portion, the VC is there. The VC is also working. VC is also having the full AC cycle being say amplified. But in this graph, you are able to see that there is some cutting of this peaks, right? So these peaks are being cut short due to that, because this in this region the transistor goes in saturation, and in this region the transistor goes in cutoff. So we have to maintain that voltage, particular voltage. As I told you, that base emitter junction should remain in forward bias. Whether the input signal goes low or high, it doesn't matters. But the say the base emitter junction should remain forward bias, and therefore we initially provide with that biasing, the base emitter junction biasing that we provide to the transistor, so that it remains in forward bias. Okay, so yeah, right. So we don't expect that the transistor will go in cutoff or saturation. So it should remain in the active region, right? Or else it will go in saturation or cut off, and the whole signal which we are supposed to give in the input will not be coming at the output, right? So for that we require it that the transistor should work in the active region, and this is the importance of that Q point, and that can be derived by that. So yeah, so the DC analysis of BJT, the voltage divider biasing is widely used. Input resistance is RE in equal to beta into RE. The base voltage is approximately VB equal to VCC by R2 by R1 plus R2. Now see, we have another type of, this is the circuit that I have tried to draw yesterday. But now what we have done in this circuit is we have tried to say give the base voltage from this plus VCC itself. And for that, we require a potential divider network. Now, this R1 and R2 forms the potential divider network, where it is dividing the voltage plus VCC. And this equation is given by sorry, this uh, okay. This voltage is given by this formula. So VB is approximately equal to VCC R2 by R1 plus R2. This is the say formula for the potential divider network. So the output voltage across this resistance we are taking. So R2, sorry, R2 by R1 plus R2, and the total voltage is VCC. Right. So this is the DC analysis of the BJT. Okay, I will just repeat it for you again what we have studied today in today's class. We have tried to just revise what we have studied up till now. Yeah, so we have tried to study transistor as an amplifier, and in this, yeah, initially we have started with what is the transistor. So a transistor is actually a three-terminal electronic device made up of semiconductor. one of the extrinsic semiconductor is being sandwiched between the other type of a semiconductor to form three layers. And these are the different packages. These are some of the applications of a transistor, which includes amplification, switching, voltage regulation, and the modulation of signal. Modulation means changing the signals, right? Then we are having bipolar transistors. Those bipolar transistors come in two packages, PNP and NPN transistors. These are the symbols of that. And this is the symbol of NPN transistor. Then architecture of BJT. I've told you three regions are there, and this is actually the diagram. These are all the symbols that are being used to in the circuits. Emitter, base, and collector are being doped like this on a common wafer of a semiconductor, right? So we call it as epitaxial growth and all. So comes under IC fabrication. Okay, so unfortunately, we are not having that course in our syllabus. So we are having these depletion layers, but due to the doping concentration, different doping concentrations, we are having the widths. We are having different widths of both the junctions. So emitter-based junction is having slightly less width, and the base collector junction is having higher compared to this emitter-based junction. Then comes the biasing. So if you bias a transistor in forward bias, if both the junctions are forward bias, then what happens? The current will flow, the electrons will flow, and they come out of the base, right? Which will not make a sense. So we can't connect them in forward bias. If you connect both of them in reverse bias, then so very less leakage current will flow, and due to minority charge carriers, again we won't be able to have the maximum out of output out of it. So for biasing, we take the middle part, and in that case we try to bias emitter base junction in forward bias and base collector junction to be reverse bias. And for that is this is actually the diagram for that. So emitter base junction is forward bias and base collector junction is reverse bias. Yeah, so there are some transistor currents that are required for to derive the formulas. So these are NPN and PNP transistors, and these are the current nomenclature that we use. IB, IC. IB is for the base current, IC for the collector current, IE is for the emitter current. As you see over here, the currents are entering in the junction in NPN transistor, whereas in PNP transistor, IB and IC are coming out of IB and IC are entering in, and IE is coming out. But net, the equation will remain same. That is IE equal to IC plus IB for both NPN and PNP transistors. Again, these are some of the applications of transistors, which transistor as a switch, amplification, variable resistance, and impedance matching. Impedance matching is one of the most important factor, important application of a transistor to match two circuits, impedances of two circuits. Then we are having the basic circuits of BJT. This is common emitter amplifier, which we have already studied. The emitter is common grounded. Input is given to base emitter and output is taken across the collector base junction. The BJT will operate in one of the following four regions: cutoff region, saturation region, linear active region, and the breakdown region. So breakdown region we never use. Cutoff region and saturation region are present in that, but we want our amplifier or a transistor to work in this linear active region. I've shown that. This is some operations of that. Yeah. So this is the circuit of that, and this is the small portion below this is called as cutoff. As I've shown you, the glass of water, remember that. And this is the saturation region. So we expect that the transistor should work in the active region. This is DC analysis of BJT. These are some of the currents which are expected to flow in the transistor, which are related to there. So IE equal to IC plus IB, IC is equal to alpha DCIE, and beta is IC equal to beta IB. So these are all equations which we have studied earlier, and beta is approximately equal to 20 to 200. It ranges from DC analysis. For that, we have VC equal to VCC minus ICRC, and VB equal to VE plus VBE. The base emitter junction should be having zero point 0.7 volts for silicon if it is made up of silicon, and if it is made up of germanium, then it requires zero point 0.3 volts. Okay, so the Q point, that is called as the Q-sun point. So Q-sun point is very important. The base current IB is established by the base bias, and the point at which the base current curve intersects the DC load line is the Q-sun point or Q point of the circuit. I have shown that the base current, right? So we have seen that in that circuit. So this is the graph, and if you are able to see, this is that point where the load line is intersecting here, and this point is called as the Q-sun point. Here, this region is called as saturation, whereas this region is called as the cutoff region. Okay, and if you go to the input in this region, then we have a normal output, and whole of the signal is being amplified inside this, whereas the output voltage is also amplified over here. So this is VC and this is IC, right? So and this is the input base current that we are applying to the base. Okay, and if you are not working it in active region, then it might go to saturation and cut off, and the whole signal will not be amplified, right? So transistor is driven into both saturation and cut off because input signal is too large. So if you apply too large voltage, up, saturation above saturation and below cutoff, then the output will look like this. So we'll have the peaks eliminated by there, even for current as well as for the voltage. Okay, so we won't work in that. These are DC analysis of BJT. This is the voltage divider biasing of that. So the same voltage is being used to give to the base. So we are not using a different power supply for the base. Same plus VCC can be used to give a voltage to the base of the transistor so that this base emitter junction should remain forward biased. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for listening. Uh, Stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I will be uploading many more videos on YouTube on my electronics channel. So be there. Thank you for joining. Stay home. Safe. Take care. So thank you. Bye. Good day. If you have any queries, please put a comment on my YouTube channel. You can also WhatsApp me on my numbers. Thank you. Bye. Good day. See you in the next class. Have a nice day. Bye.